So we were discussing chapter number 11 and we have covered, I think, the 5 verses. We will continue from there. Let's recite the Mangalacharan. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiv Shakhan Vitamsha नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनाम पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome you all once again on our discussion on Bhagavad Gita. So we were discussing chapter number 11. It's here, and this chapter number 11 is universal form. And I think we have covered till text 5. Today we'll continue from text 5. So just to recap things. So in chapter 10, Krishna spoke about how he pervades everywhere, right? And then there are basically kind of theoretical knowledge that how Krishna pervades everywhere. So Arjuna had a desire to see, and actually he desired to make us convince more about us, that how can we see Krishna is everywhere, right? And then Arjuna also makes a point in this chapter to all of us that if anyone claims that I am God, then he should be able to display his universal form too. And that's how he asked Krishna that, can you please, he requested, basically, he's not asked, he requested Krishna that, can I see your form? And he says, even if you think I'm eligible to see this one text 4, if you think that I'm able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. So here a very nice point comes, that sometime people say that, okay, can you show me God? I want to see God, then I will believe it. So that's basically they speak out of their proudness, arrogance. No, I know you can't show me God, kind of thing, right? So, but here if you see, Arjuna is requesting Krishna. He said that, Krishna, I can't do. Even I don't think I will be able to behold your cosmic form. O Lord, O Master of all mystic powers, can you kindly show me that unlimited universal form, right? So that's how, if you request, then we can actually say it. Then even going forward, we'll see how Krishna says that, you won't be able to see my form, but I'll have to give you a divine eyes through which you can actually see my form. And that was that's the context of chapter 11. So we discussed text 5 last week, where Krishna says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pratha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine and multicolored form. Right, let's see from text 6. Okay. Pashyadiyan Dityan
Pashyadityan
Yan
Vashun
Vasun
Rudran
Rudran
Ashwino
Asvina
Marutas
Maruta
Tatha
Tata
Bahunya
Bahul
Adrashta
Adrishta
Purvani
Purvan
Pashyacharyani
Pashyadityan
Bharata
Bharata
Pasyadityan Vashun Rudran
Pashyadityan Rudran
Ashwino Marutas Tatha
Asvino
Bahunya Adrashta Purvani
Bahunyadrishta Purvani
Pashyacharyani Bharata.
Pasya
What it says, Pashya, see, Krishna is saying, see, Aditya, the 12th son of Aditi, right? Vashun, the 8 Vasus, Rudran, the 11 forms of Rudra, Ashwini, the 2 Ashwini Kumar, Marutas, the 49 Marutas, of the demigods of the wind, Tatha, also, Bahuni, many, Adrishta, that you have not seen, Purvani, before, Pashya, see, Ashcharyani, all the wonders, Bharata, oh best of Bharatas. So Krishna is saying, oh best of Bharata, see here the different manifestation of Adityas, Vashus, Rudra, Ashwini Kumaras, and all of the demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. So in chapter 10, Krishna not only spoke about how he pervades, how he enters into each everything living thing, Krishna is now explaining as well. See all these things. So when sometimes we say there are 33 crore devatas, isn't it? That comes here as well. So these 33 crore devatas are not about crore devatas, these are basically categories, right? Koti types. So these are 12 sons of Adityas, and the 8 Vashus, 12, 8, 20, 11 forms of Rudra, 31, and Ashwini Kumar, 2 Ashwinis, the 33. These are these forms, 33 crore as well. The 33 categories of these. However, that's a different topic. But Krishna is saying now that see all these things in me. Who are the Adityas, the son of deities, and son of Aditi, son of Diti Adityas. Then Vashush, Rudra, Ashwini Kumar, and all other demigods in this Krishna's form. So Krishna is actually showing his form where everything can be seen over there. So Prabhupada says in purport that even though Arjuna was a personal friend of Krishna and the most advanced of learned men, it was still not possible for him to know everything about Krishna. Here it is stated that the humans have neither heard nor known all of these forms and manifestation. Now Krishna reveals this wonderful form. So what this form is, universal form is bona fide but not permanent. So when we say Krishna's incarnation, this is also Krishna's incarnation, isn't it? But this is not you say as eternal form. Like when we say Krishna has a form of Lord Ram, so there's a planet in a spiritual world where we could see Lord Ram, right? Lord Vishnu, and all those things. But this form of Krishna is universal. It's a universal form is actually Krishna's form, is bona fide form, but it's temporary. It exists only in the material world, right? Let's see it ahead. What Krishna says more on that. Then text 7. Ihaika Stham
Tam
Jagat
Jagat
Kritsnam
Krishnam
Pasyadya
Pashyadya
Cha Charasharam
Charach
Mama
Mama
Dehe
Dehe
Gudakesha
Gudake
Yach
Yat
Chanyad
Chanyat
Drustum
Drashtam
Ichhasi.
Ichchasi.
Ihaikastam Jagat Krishnam
Iha
Kastam Jagat Krishna
Pasyadhya Characharam
Pasyadhyasacharacharam
Mama Dehi Gudakesha
Mama
Mamdehe Gunakesha
Yashchanya Drustumicchasi.
Yachanya
Yaschanyadri
Gritsasi.
So Iha, in this form, that form Krishna is showing, he says, Ekastham, in one place, Jagata, the universe, Krishnam, completely. Pasya, see, Adya, immediately, Sa means with, Chara, the moving, Achara, non-moving, Mama, my Dehe, in this body, Gudakesha is referring to Arjuna, O Arjuna, who has conquered the sleep or ignorance, is called Gudakesha. Yet that which cha also anyat means other drustum to see ichhasi you wish. So Krishna is saying here to Arjuna, O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. So in that form, when Krishna manifested this form, actually this form is not being seen by Arjuna yet. But Krishna is saying that you can see everything here. Even moving, even non-moving, even you want to see something or even something in future, everything is there in that form, right? But Arjuna has not seen this form yet. Krishna has only displayed it, but he has not seen yet, right? So let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport that no one can see the entire universe while sitting in one place, isn't it? It's not possible to see universe sitting in one place. Even the most advanced scientist cannot see what is going on in other parts of the universe. But a devotee like Arjuna can see everything that exists in any part of the universe, because Krishna gives him the power to see anything he wants to see, the past, present, and the future. Krishna is going to give the power in next verse, in text 8. Thus, by the mercy of Krishna, Arjuna is able to see everything. See, this is a very, very interesting point, isn't it? How can we see everything? It's not possible to see the whole universe by sitting at one place. If you see the earlier, the rishis, the sages, they have this power. Even we see the Vyasadeva had given this divine eye to Dhananjaya, right? He is in Hastinapur and he is seeing everything as if he's seeing a television in a movie about the Kurukshetra war, what's happening over there, and he's explaining to Dhritarashtra. That kind of power the earlier sages they had, right? And that all comes from our Vedic literature, right? Vyasadeva could see, would give this power to Dhananjaya so that he could see and narrate what's ever happening in Kurukshetra war, Kurukshetra living in Hastinapur, right? And now, as Krishna has expanded himself, his form, he's manifested this universal form, where everything lies, the moving, non-moving, and everything of the whole universe, not even the present, actually about past and also about future. Everything is there. And that Krishna is going to give this power to see to Arjuna here in next verse. Let's see. Na tu
Tu
mam
Mam
shakyase
Sakyase
drustum
Drashtam
aneneva
Ananeva
swa
Swa
chaksha
Chakshusha
divyam
Divyam
dadami
Dadami
te
Te
chakshu
Chakshu
pasya
Pashya
me
Me
yogam
Yogam
asthiram yogam
Yogam
aishwaram
Aishwaram
na tu mam shakyase drustum
न शक्यसे द्रष्टुम्
अनेनैव चक्षुषु
अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा
चक्षुषा अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा
अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा
दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षु
दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः
पश्य मे योगम ऐश्वरम्.
पश्य मे योगमैश्वर्यम्.
Krishna is saying, Pashya me yogam aishwaram, see my opulent form. I am giving you this divine eye. Dadami divyam tetakshu. Right. So, na, never to, but mama, me, shakyashe, are able, drushtum, to see, anenena, with this, eva, certainly, swachakshashu, with your own eyes, divyam, divine, dadami means I give, te, to you, chakshu, eyes, pashya, see, me, my, yogam, aishwaram, inconceivable mystic power. Krishna says now, but you cannot see me with your present eye. Where Krishna said earlier that, okay, see all the Aditya, the Rudras, the Marutas, everything in me, the past, the present, the future, but that not being seen yet by Arjuna. Right. Now Krishna is saying that, but you cannot see me in your present eyes. So these eyes, like Charma Chakshu, the eyes we have, this material eyes, we cannot see it. Then therefore, I give you divine eyes. I give you Diva Chakshu, and behold my mystic opulences. So with that divine eyes, actually you will be able to see me. Unless you won't be able to see me, right? So Prabhupada says in the purport that a pure devotee does not like to see Krishna in any form except his form with two hands. And Prabhupada makes this point here itself. And if you see in this chapter, ending chapter, this chapter 11, Arjuna, he's with his folded hand, he said, Krishna, please come back to your 200 form. So because devotees always want to see Krishna in 200 form, Shyam Sundar form, right? So a devotee must see his universal form by his grace. So by Krishna's mercy, by Krishna's grace, they can actually see it. Not with the mind, but with the spiritual eyes. So it's sometimes being said that, no, how can we see the spiritual thing? So in this Kali Yuga, the best way to see something spiritual or to realize our own self, it's not by our ears, it's actually by our ears. So not by our eyes, but through by our ears. So when we hear about Krishna, we understand Krishna. Even the hearing has a potency. So if you see, there might be many countries you might not have been there, but you heard about it from your geography teacher or by studying something. You know that, okay, there's a country called XYZ. Let's, for example, Poland. I have not been to Poland. I know, but there's a Poland. There's a country there, right? But I haven't seen it. So I can visualize this. Yes, there's a country in Poland. There might be like same as we are human being over there, right? So that we have heard from our teachers or from the news and everything like that. So we knew about it. In the similar way, spiritual world, we haven't seen it yet. But when we hear about Krishna, when we about your Krishna's pastime and the spiritual world coming from the scriptures, from our acharyas, we can understand that yes, there is something beyond this material world, right? So in the similar way, Krishna, Prabhupada saying here that a devotee see universal form by Krishna's grace, not through his mind, but with spiritual eyes. And spiritual eyes can be opened through ears. By hearing spiritual topics, we can actually open our spiritual eyes. It need not to be this eye, not virtual eye. It can be through our ears, right? So it's been said in Bhagavatam, one verses, Pravishta Karnarandhena. So we should hear the glories of Krishna through our karna, through our ears. And also they describe that if the ear doesn't hear about Krishna's glorification, that ears becomes a place for snakes, kind of, useless holes. So to see the universal form of Krishna, Arjuna is told not to change his mind, but his vision. The universal form of Krishna is not very important. That will be clear in subsequent verses. Yet because Arjuna wanted to see it, the Lord gives him the particular vision required to see that universal form. It's not easy for anyone to see. It's not even possible to see by anyone to see Krishna's universal form, right? It's so gigantic. As I said earlier, Prabhupada says that it's not possible to see universe by sitting at one place, but we can hear about it, we can know about it, right? We can know the geographical boundaries and what all of things, information about the place, but we can't see it from our eyes, but we can hear through our ears. Now Krishna is going to give a spiritual eye to Arjuna, by which Arjuna can actually see things, right? That's only happened through the mercy of Krishna, by his grace only, right? Okay. And Prabhupada quote another verse from Bhagavatam. He says, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the boys who play with Krishna are all highly pious souls, and after many, many births, they are able to play with Krishna. Such boys do not know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. They take him as a personal friend. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami recites this verse. Itham satam brahma shukhan bhutya dashyam gatanam para devatena maya srishtanam nara darakena shakham vijagruha krita punya punjaha. So here the Supreme Person, who is considered the impersonal Brahman by great sages, the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees, and by a product of material nature by ordinary men. Now these boys who have performed many, many past activities in their past lives are playing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even Brahma, Lord Brahma, after Brahma Vilochan Leela, Brahma says, Aho Bhagyam na Gopa Nanda Brajokasham. En Mitran Paramananda Purna Brahma Sanatana. So Lord Brahma is actually praying that this Gopa and the cowherd boys, even the cows, the calves, they are so much qualified, so much, on the highest level, that En Mitran Paramananda, their friends is Paramananda, the Supreme Lord is their friend, right? And why they're saying, oh Bhagyam. This, the cowherd boys, the Nanda Maharaj and all, they have so much of Bhagya. Right? They're so, what do you say? What is in Bhagya? Oh.
They're blessed.
Yes, they are so much blessed. Yes, yeah, they were so much blessed that their friend is Krishna, right? So that's how it's saying. Krishna Prabhupada is saying, mentioning the point that even the Gopas, they are playing with Krishna, right? And the three points he mentioned in the purport here. Prabhupada says the sages, they think Krishna as impersonal Brahman, and the devotees, they see Krishna as Supreme Being, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadirade Govinda Sarva Karana Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says. Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ishvara means is controller, and a Parama Ishvara is supreme controller. And who is that? Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is supreme controller. So supreme means he is supreme. He is no one can surpass him. That's how devotees thinks of Krishna as Supreme Being. And an ordinary man who have no knowledge about the Vedic literature, they say is a product of material nature, right? So, but now these boys are playing with that. That's basically how the loving exchanges happens between God, between Supreme Lord and the devotees. So the people may say, okay, the atheists, they don't reciprocate with Lord, but the devotees, they actually play with the Lord. Even there are so much pastimes given in 10th canto, how the cowherd boys, they were jumping on Krishna's lap, Krishna's, sometimes on his back. They are giving rest to Krishna. Sometimes they are massaging Krishna's feet. Sometimes Krishna is taking some remnants from their mouth and eating it and drinking it, right? All the pastimes Krishna is doing. And by looking at those things, Lord Brahma got bewildered. He said, how is it? He's not Krishna. He can be supreme. But Krishna is actually doing some divine pastimes in Vrindavan, right? And then very important point Prabhupada makes here, that the fact is that the devotee is not concerned with seeing the Vishwarupa. But Arjuna wanted to see its subsistent Krishna statement, so that in the future people could understand that Krishna, not only theoretically, also philosophically presented himself as supreme being. At this point, I mentioned earlier that if someone comes and says, okay, I am God, then if he is a God, then he should be able to manifest his universal form, right? But that can only be done by Krishna, no one else, right? Okay. And again, one more important purpose makes here that those who are actually interested in understanding the supreme personality of Godhead or Krishna and who follow in the footstep of Arjuna should understand that Krishna not only theoretically presented himself as a supreme, but actually revealed himself as a supreme. So what is that? What is that process? What is the footstep? Being Krishna's devotee, being Krishna's friend, right? Krishna says earlier that, okay, I reveal you all these things, Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. You are my dear devotee. So Krishna has tried to reveal himself towards to Duryodhana earlier, but he didn't realize that Krishna, right? But Arjuna is Krishna's dear friend as well as his devotee, so Krishna is revealing him. So in a similar way, when we follow the footstep of our acharyas, as what Acharya says, we take their words as our instructions and follow that. Actually, gradually we can see Krishna, right? Because Krishna is seen through follow the footstep of our acharyas, not by our whimsical thoughts, speculations, and here and there things, right? And now Prabhupada mentioned this point that now Lord gave Arjuna the necessary power. In a similar way, actually Krishna can give us the necessary power if when time comes, so that we can realize Krishna, we can see Krishna. It might not possible for us to see Krishna directly, but it's possible as well by Krishna's mercy. And we can realize it by seeing Krishna's form in the temple, in our home, in the altar. As Bhagavatam says, there are 8 places how Krishna manifests himself: in the wood, in the stones, even in the clay and other things, right? In the pictures. So that way we can actually see him, right? Okay, let's see now text 9. Now Sanjay is saying, Sanjay Uvacha,
Sanjay Uvacha,
Evam
एवं
Uktva
Uktva
Tato
ततो
Rajan
राजन्
Maha
Maha
Yogeshwaro
Yogeshwar
योगेश्वरो
Harihi
Harihi
हरिः
Darshayam
Darshaya
दर्शय
Asha
आश
Parthaya
पार्थाय
Paramam
परमं
Rupam
रूपम्
Aishwaram.
ऐश्वर्यम्
Sanjay Uvacha
सञ्जय
Sanjay
उवाच
Eva Muktva Tato Rajan
एवमुक्त्वा ततो राजन्
Mahayogeshwaro Harihi
Mahayogeshwaro Harihi.
Darshayam Asha Parthaya
Darshaya Ashapar
Darshayam Parthaya Paramam Rupam.
Paramam Rupam Aishwaram.
परमं
Param
रूपमैश्वर्यम्
So Sanjay Uvacha, Sanjay said, Evam, thus, Uktva, saying, Tataha, thereafter, Rajan, O king, Mahayogeshwara, the most powerful mystic, Harihi, the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, Darshayam Asha, showed Parthaya unto Arjuna, Paramam, the divine, Rupam Aishwaram, universal form. So this divine form is being shown to Arjuna. That was Sanjay said. Sanjay said, O king, having spoken thus, the supreme lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. So now this section starts from where Arjuna, after getting this Divya Chakshu, he is going to see Krishna. Right? So a special vision has been given to Arjuna, being a devotee of Lord, and now Arjuna is going to see Krishna's form. Let's see what he says, and then he's going to explain what he is saying. So let's see what here it is. Aneka
Aneka
वक्त्र
वक्त्र
नयनम
नयनम
अनेकाब्धु अनेका
अनेक
एका
भूत
अद्भुतं
दर्शनम
दर्शनम्
अनेक
अनेक
दिव्याभरणम
दिव्या
दिव्याभरणं
दिव्यानेकोध्यात्मयुधम
दिव्यानेकोद्यतायुधं
दिव्य
दिव्य
माल्याम्बर
माल्याम्बरा
माल्याम्बरधरं
धरम
दिव्य
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 गंधानुलेपनम
गन्धान
गन्धपनं
सर्वाश सर्वाश्चर्य
सर्वाश्चर्यमयं
मयम देवम
देवम्
अनंतम
अनन्तं
विश्वतो
विश्वतो
मुखम.
मुखम्
So this is what Arjuna sees now. He says aneka vaktra nayanam
अनेक
अनेकवक्त्रनयनम्
anekabdhuta darsanam
अनेक
अनेकाद्भुतदर्शनम्
aneka दिव्याभरणम
अनेकदिव्याभरणम्
दिव्यानेकोदतात्मितम
दिव्यानेकोद्यतायुधम्
दिव्यमाल्याम्बरधरम
दिव्या
दिव्याम्बरधरम्
दिव्यगन्धानुलेपनम
दिव्या
दिव्यगन्धानुलेपनम्
सर्वाश्चर्यमयं देवम
सर्वाश्चर्यमयां देवम्
देवम्
अनन्तं विशतो मुखम.
अनन्तं विश्वतोमुखम्.
Wow, see, aneka. I like na. Let's see it. Aneka, various, vaktra, mouths, nayanam, eyes, aneka, various, adbhuta, wonderful, darsanam, sight, aneka, many, divya, divine, abharanam, ornaments, divya, divine, aneka, various, udyata, uplifted, ayadham, weapons, divya, divine, malya, garlands, ambara, dresses, dharam, wearing, divya, divine, gandham, fragrances, anulepanam, smeared with, sarva, all, ascharyamayam, wonderful, devam, shining, anantam, unlimited, vishwata mukham, all pervading. Right. So what Arjuna sees here, after getting this universal eye, divine eyes, Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. So just see it. So that's Krishna's universal form, where Arjuna is saying all many things, unlimited mouths, eyes, wonderful visions, Krishna's ornament and divine weapons, so many weapons, garlands, and this all actually they are smeared with scents all over his body. It is brilliance, unlimited, all expanding. It's actually expanding, there is no anta, there is no other, there is no starting point, there is no ending point. It's actually all pervading everywhere. Right? So in these two verses, the repeated use of the word many indicate that there was no limit to the numbers of hands, mouths, legs, and other manifestations Arjuna was saying. These manifestations were distributed throughout the universe, but by the grace of Lord, Arjuna could see them while sitting in one place. That was due to the inconceivable potency of Krishna. It's only possible by Krishna's mercy, as Prabhupada mentioned earlier as well. Right? Okay, we'll take one more verse. Divi,
दिवि
Surya,
सूर्य
Sahasrasya,
सहस्र
Bhaved,
भवेत्
Yugapad,
युगपद्
Utthita,
उत्थिता
Yadi,
यदि
Bhaha,
बाह
Shadrushi,
सदृशी
Sha,
सा
Syad,
स्यात्
Bhashas,
भास
Tasya,
तस्य
महात्मनः
महात्मनः
दिवि सूर्या सहस्रस्य
दिवि सूर्यसहस्रस्य
भवेद्युगपदत् उत्थिता
भवेद्युगपदिता
यदि भावसदृशी सा स्यात्
यदि बाह
दृशी सा स्यात्
भाषस्तस्य महात्मनः
तस्य महात्मनः
Divi, in the sky, Surya of suns, Sahasra of many thousands, Bhavet, there were, Yugapad, simultaneously, Uttishta, present, Yadi, if, Bhaha, light, Sadrashi, like that, Sa, that Shyat, might be, Bhasha, effulgence, Tasya of him, Mahatmana, the great Lord. Right. So if hundreds of thousands of sun were to rise at once in the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. See, the point here is something to be compared, right? So here's a small comparison is given. It says hundreds of thousands of sun were rise at one in the sky. That, see, can you imagine just one sun when it is quite hot in the noon? We can't see the radiance of the sun by our eyes, isn't it? We can't see the radiance by our eyes. Just imagine if there are lakhs of suns rise at once in the sky, what will happen? Actually, it will be burning, isn't it? And that says that radiance might resemble, it might not be. Right? Even it actually surpasses, actually, Krishna's radiance surpasses those as well. So their radiance might resemble the influence of the Supreme Personality of God. The one person here, his effulgence can surpass hundreds of thousands of suns' effulgence. Can you imagine it? So that's what this verse says. So Prabhupada says, what Arjuna saw was indescribable. Yet Sanjay is trying to give a mental picture of the great revelation to Dhritarashtra. Neither Sanjay nor Dhritarashtra was present, but Sanjay, by the grace of Vyasa, could see whatever happened. Thus, he now compares the situation as far as it can be understood to an imaginable phenomenon. That is thousands of sun, right? So he's explaining. So when Arjuna is seeing this form, actually Sanjay is also seeing this form, and then he's explaining to Arjuna that this is so effulgent that if thousands of suns rise at the same time, even their light will be actually, it become diminished by the effulgence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right. So there are two more verses, 13 and 14, where Arjuna sees some more about Krishna, and then he started explaining what he has seen to Krishna, and then he prays, please come back to your normal form. We'll stop here and we'll continue from text 13 the next week. Anyone have any questions or thoughts or comment, please let us know. Hare Krishna, thank you for being with us. And yes, so I was saying earlier, so this Friday, anyway, stop this video first.